Hi, I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. It is already time to set up a new reading journal for 2026, and as always I went with a journal from the brand Kokonotes. This one is the cacti and succulent edition, and the reason I like these journals so much is the Japanese binding on the back, and as you could see just a few moments ago, the back does extend with the journal so that it doesn't stand open when you paste a lot of things in it. And since that's what I do the most, I choose this feature over heavier paper. So the paper in this journal is only 120 GSM, which makes that some colors do ghost a little bit through the paper, as we will see further on. I stick the first page together. I will not do the same mistake again of ripping that one out, because this destroyed my journal of the start of 2025. The cacti and succulent theme of the journal made me think of the book The Valkyries by Paulo Coehlo. This book is older in English, but it only came out in French this year, and it is one of the books that I've read. And I chose to get inspired by that story to do the setup for my annual pages. So you will see that I will use elements that reflect to the desert, because this book is set in the Modave desert, where Paulo and his wife go to meet people that can help them and teach them how to get in touch with their protective angel. That's where the angel wings refer to. And some of those people are a group of women who are called the Valkyries. And unlike in the Nordic mythology, these women who are very free and in their let's say they are living their destiny, they ride around on motorcycles, and that's why I represented them with the motorcycle stickers in this setup. I will also be adding in later on stickers with stars, and that's because Paulo and his wife spent a lot of time watching the beautiful skies and the many stars that you can see in the desert, since there is no light pollution. Like the previous years, I will be taking part in several reading challenges, and the first pages of my reading journal will be set up to keep track of these year-long challenges I take part in. The first pages are just like in last year's journal, dedicated to the Magical Readathon created by G from Book Roast, for which I have a character that is called Oleka, and I enjoy using the elements of this D&D styled readathon to create my character's story. And these first pages are meant to keep all the information that I think is worthwhile remembering about the story elements that I have already used, or the things that she gains, like her companion, the inventory that I bought with the Readathon currency, which is called GRP, a track list for that as well, and also like the main events that occurred in Oleka's life, so that I can refer back to all those things when I'm continuing writing. Last year I used like these vertical Dutch doors, but I did cut the page in half, and I found that at some point that was a little bit too few space, not enough space to paste in all the pictures of like the pets and the companions that I gained. And so this year I used a technique that I have seen several bullet journal people use. They fold the page instead of really cutting it open. It's called, I think, the rolling weekly, and I think I saw it first time with Plant-Based Bride. And I decided to make this style so that I don't have to paste in a little flap somewhere throughout the year. We'll see if this is going to work. I set up a background decoration for these spreads, and you can not see it that well on the video, but the thicker paper that I use to make the borders also has a very light sun over desert type of pattern, and I decided to use that because when I'm done setting up the desert theme, I will come back to this spread to add in elements that I always use on Aurelian pages, or more specifically on pages that are holding my character's info and my character's story. These next spreads are for the 52 book club reading challenge. I have been participating in this reading challenge for a few years now, and this year I wanted to do something special. This summer they released a connection challenge. That means that instead of having 52 prompts, there are 21, and each book has something in common with the one that you read before that and the one that you read after that. It's quite complex to explain, so I will link you to the video of that. So then I think it's better explained over there. But I thought that this idea was very fun, and I really wanted to participate in this challenge, but I couldn't make it work with what I have already planned for the summer. So instead of doing the 52 prompt yearly challenge, I will be doing this challenge this year. And I wanted a way to track that, and instead of using like the little vignette and just say, well, I read a book for the challenge in my stats, I wanted to create something that showed the connection between the different books. So I added in the list with all the prompts on the left side of this first part of the spread. And then I made like several Dutch doors that will each hold 3 books, and I gave myself some space to add the books in, and to avoid that they are like floating on the page, I added in some washi tape, and I will connect all those with tracks, and the tracks, they are present on the printables that the 52 book club gives for this challenge, but they also represent the tracks that the motorcycles leave in the desert. This next spread is dedicated to the Fitzalong. This is a read-along that is hosted by Win from Literary Diversions. This started 2 years ago, and the idea is to read through all the books of the Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. In French, these books are often divided into 2 or 3 parts for each English volume, and that leaves us this year with, in French, 11 books to finish, and I listed them all out here so that I don't need to always go back and look which is the next title I need to have on hold at the library. I will continue this for this year, even if I am not sure that the live shows will still be hosted. There were none in 2025, which is a little bit sad because I enjoyed them a lot, but then I also understand that sometimes live doesn't let you do what you want to do. But this is a series that I highly enjoy, and I look a lot forward to continue reading them, and I'm also a little bit already sad that it will be finished this year. This spread is for a completely new challenge to me. It will be replacing my reread challenge. We'll talk about the challenges I did in 2025 together with my stats and my favorite books of the year in a wrap-up video that will be there somewhere in January. This challenge is called 12 to Finally Read, and I got it from a French-speaking Belgium YouTuber which is called La Fille qui aime lire. I will link that in case you're interested to visit her channel. And she uses a site that's like Goodreads, but then the French version of it is called Babelio. And you can ask this site to generate you a random book from your wanting to read list. And she used this feature to pick out, I think it was also 12 books that she wanted to prioritize this year. And she explained that she tends to forget about the older books on her list. And I really resonated with that. I tend to forget about the older books that on this very extensive list. And so I went to see if on Goodreads I could have a similar like randomizing of a book. The only way to do that is to go and to have like a randomized order of your book list. And I deliberately only went with the books that are in an easy access to me, not knowing what the year will bring, but also to make it to me very easy to grab this book. It's all books that are available on the library, on my Kindle, or on my Audible account. And I made a page where I can paste them all in, so that when I make my TBR, I can go back to that and really start off by looking if one of the prompts can be fulfilled with a book from this list. And I left myself a little space up and down of the books so that I can add in which one are read or not by the end of the year. I'm very curious to see how this is going to turn out. The next spread is one that is maybe more familiar. It is my Read Me Bingo, an idea that I got from Amanda Maid last year. I used this to give myself the will to read books that are laying around my house. Most of the time these are books that I found in book boxes and then that I pick up and with the intention of reading, and then they linger for a few months at my house, and this really helps me getting to these books in 2025. And so I decided to do this another year because one, it is really fun and it is really satisfying to keep updated, but also it helped me, and I really want to how do you say that in English? To get this habit really well consolidated. to consolidate this habit, but I found it. Sometimes it comes later, the word. So I am setting this up in the same style, and I will add in the wheel, of course, by which I randomly picked the coordinates for each of the books. And don't worry, by the start of January I will have completely forgotten which book will give me which place on the bingo board. There is not much more that I can say about this spread, so I will use the time that I'm setting it up to talk to you a little bit more about the book that inspired this setup, which is the Valkyries by Paulo Coehlo. This is an author by author for me, and I have read quite some books by him in my life, I would say, the last few years, and there's only one that I didn't like. This is the Winner Stands Alone. And what I appreciate about his books is the more spiritual dimension that they offer. Often they treat subjects that are linked to his spiritual path, which is quite, I feel, unique. I've never anybody else heard talking about it. Sometimes it's referred to as the way of the warrior of the light. And these books somehow tend to resonate very much with me. And I think it was no different for the Valkyries. I was very happy to read that this year. The next couple of spreads will be dedicated to a readathon hosted by Leandra, the TBR0, and it is called Map of Stories. She announced several challenges for the TBRathon for 2026, and one had an option for a year-long event, and she will be hosting sprints for that every first weekend. I will include the video for it so that you can go see the announcement for this reading event, I would call it. The idea is that every month you pick a book that is for a specific genre that then is linked to the map that I use to decorate these spreads. And then there are several ways to do so. So you can read just for the genre. You can read the genre and up to the three prompts that she has prepared, or you can skip the genre and just read one or more of the prompts. Leandra made very nice printables that I cut up. The ones that I use for the headers of the months basically are meant to be badges that you win if you participated in the monthly event, and I like them so much that I use them as headers. And then you can see that next to that I have pasted in something that's not very clear, and that's because for every month there are badges you can earn, and I printed them off very lightly so that this shows the place where I can put in the badge when I've earned it, and we'll see which one of the three each time I get. And then under that I put in the name of the place on the map where we're visiting, the type of genre that we will be reading, and next to that are the prompts. I felt that it was a little bit too open spaced, so I made borders around each of the monthly sections, and I want to use them the way I made my reading journal for the Amazing Readathon last year, or this year in 2025, with a space to keep the book title and some memories, quotes, or some decoration. These are is the last spread I'll set up for my yearly pages, and it is for my series tracker. I have already off camera set up a second spread for it because I feel after filling in the series that I am sure that I will not be finishing this year, that most of the space is already taken up. But then my header is quite big and the dot grid spacing is different from my journal of last year. And so I feel that it took more place for writing out on each line than it did there. But that's perfectly fine. You will see that second page in the flip through. And it is now time to put away all the desert themed stuff and to get out my Olika themed stamps and to add some decoration on the first pages that we set up. And that brought us to the setup for January, which will be a completely different theme. And I have cut out a little bit more than I usually do, since we have the yearly pages already taking a lot of time from your day. So you can see that I've already made my usual calendar and books list, and the decoration will be a little bit like cozy library writers themed, since I am participating in a TBRathon, and for January I have picked out the TBR spread on which you can it's TBR Explorer, I think it's called. And it is the idea is that you read books and for prompts that will give you elements of the story that you're writing. I did switch up a little bit my TBR spread, and that's because I will also sometimes be using a TBR game, and more about that coming soon. And so I have divided the spread in two halves. The one with the priorities, which hold the books that I read for the challenges like the Fitzalong, or for the map of stories, things like that. Audiobooks maybe that I am in the midst of series of that are going to disappear from the include list. And then on the right side, I give myself some space to write out reading prompts and the books that I am going to read for them. The setup will not include the TBR like my setups used to have in 2025. There will be a dedicated video for that coming very soon. If you're interested, maybe you could hit the subscribe button and the notification button so that you don't miss this video. A spread that didn't change at all is my Biblio Drive spread. And if you're new over here, if we haven't met yet, then let me introduce you to this spread. I use the library for most of my reading, and the library that we are a member of offers a service that it's called the Biblio Drive. And we send in an email, that's my family, with the books that we would like to have on hold for the upcoming month, and they prepare this whole package for us, and we just pick them up. With the amount of kids we have and the amount of books that we have at our home every month, this is very helpful. There is a video explaining how we use the library and how this all works, and I will link it up in the corner. I use this spread to list out all of the books that came into our house before putting them away, and so I can also cross them off when we go back. This spread specifically dedicated to the TBR Explorer of TBRathon is the last one in this setup, and I again used some Dutch doors. I really do like them, but I chose to go with horizontal ones, and because the pick and match vibe of this reading challenge made me think of some children's book that I've read with my kids, in which you have like these different flaps and they can create like their own strange animals and stuff, and I don't know, it made me think of that, and I really wanted to do something in that type of bookish event, and this came in handy because it gave me the space to again butcher the beautiful printables of Leandra and to arrange them on the page so that it wouldn't feel cramped up or just printed out, but then still would look quite nice. I added in the prompt list on the lower part of the right spread, and I decorated the whole upper top of the page. It's not something that I do often, but I really enjoyed making this sticker collage. I hope that you liked this video and that it got you some inspiration for your own setups. Let's go into a final flip through before saying goodbye. See you soon!